I'd like to call the April 4th, 2024 Wall City Council meeting to order. Carolyn, would you please call roll?
Welsh,
Here.
Morgan,
Here.
Stan Anderson,
Here.
Husted,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Hawk,
Here.
Mike Anderson.
Here.
We have a quorum, everyone's present.
Okay, can we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Deputy Cordell, would you be so gracious to lead us?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any order of business for emergencies?
No,
Okay, do we have an attendance on Zoom?
yes, Councilman Stan Anderson is on Zoom.
Okay, so that brings us to our next item, which is the police report. Deputy Cordell, welcome.
Like you have noticed, I've kind of been MIA. I've been in rapid training a little bit, so, I was gone for about 7 weeks. So I don't really know a whole lot of what's been going on, but that's good. If there's nothing going on, it is good. So do you guys have any questions about anything on here?
Would you explain community activity again? Because I see we've got quite a few numbers there and
Yeah, so the community activity, our department last year wanted to push for more we call it community policing, and here it's community activity, but basically anytime we get out with somebody and chat about something, whether it's, they're griping about something, something that's just not like criminal, we're just chatting with the community. Just those random interactions, we'll put them down as those community activities. So,
public relations kind of.
Yeah.
thing.
yeah,
And do a little education on the,
yeah, and we get a lot of those obviously in the contract towns compared to Rapid, where they're just kind of going from call to call and stuff, so.
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome, very good. All right. So any other questions that anyone has? All right, thank you.
Thank
Be
you, guys.
safe. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have anyone that needs to declare a conflict of interest? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes for the March 21st City Council meeting that was in your packet?
So.
Okay, Mike has moved
Second.
and Rick has second. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, I can't, Stan's not very loud tonight. Is he?
Can we turn up his volume?
I tried turning it up on the owl here.
Okay, all right.
Can you turn your volume up on your end, Stan?
But I'm gonna assume you approved. You said yes, so I'm gonna go ahead. Thank you, Stan. All right.
Not
Okay.
really.
Yeah, I can hear you really clear.
Okay, that's getting better. Okay, very good. Okay, the next item is the City of Wall, the Fire Department, and the library claims. Does anyone have any questions on any of those items for the city, the fire department, or the library?
Move to approve.
Okay, Dan has moved. Second. And Kelly a second. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. All right. Also in your packet today was the on-call schedule for the employees, the ambulance meeting minutes, and the financials. Those minutes were for the February 20th meeting and the March 12th meeting for the ambulance. as well as the February financials. Then there's the water usage report and an updated sales tax report.
Yes, that is a new report from what you first got. I did receive another payment since then, so I have updated it.
And then the expense budget report for the city. Okay, any questions on any of those reports that were included in your packet? Or comments?
I was gonna ask one of Garrett, but he's gone.
Okay,
Just looking at all the years in there and how much water we always lose. I can't remember why.
Well, some of that's what's in the lines, you know, that can't be measured.
Oh, okay.
And they actually say that 10% is a good number, and it has been a little higher than that, but I don't know if we've, you know, they try to do rounding if they have to flush and stuff, and I don't know if it's an accurate way of figuring that out. Do you have any idea, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, it's not real exact.
Like with the project over there, I know when they did the water connection right in front of my house. He asked me the next morning if the water was cloudy, and I said, no, it looked fine, and he said, well, then we did flush it good, so I don't know how he's gonna know how much they flushed, you know, gallon wise, so.
Estimate.
so we can probably expect that that usage is gonna go up. I mean, with the airport project and now the street project, so that's all probably gonna affect that. Okay, do we have any one from the public who would like to address or express any concerns to the council? They would have 3 minutes to do so. Do we have anyone that would like to visit with us tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward to the permits. The first one is for a fence at 406 Lariat Drive. And I would think that Garrett has reviewed this.
That was,
He is
that was
buying-
Chris and Amy.
Chris and Amy
Bassett's
Bassett's
Oh.
house,
Oh,
The building.
okay,
and they're coming from Wasta. He works at West River Electric, and his wife works at the school.
so they're just preparing, so when they move in, they will be able to have this approved and ready to go.
That they want to be able to.
Okay, so with that being said, would I have a motion to approve the building of fence at 406 Lariat Drive? So moved.
Second.
Okay, Kelly moved. And Dan seconded. Any other questions?
Just, we'll run it by Garrett and make sure he has, he has.
did,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw her, when I asked that, I saw her say yes. But good point, Mike. All right, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, the next building permit is to move in a storage unit at 540 Metler Lane. And this is also been approved, looked at by Garrett. Move to approve. Okay, Kelly has moved,
Second.
and was that Mike seconded? Any questions or concerns about a shipping storage container?
It's a very nice one. It's 40 feet long, 9.5 feet in the inside and 8 feet wide, and it's only made one trip. Practically, I mean, looks really good.
Do you know, is it temporary or they're gonna leave it there?
Well, I can't imagine leaving it there. I think he just wants a little place to lock up stuff during construction.
I see.
I mean, it could be a temporary approval, because we probably don't want. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna be unsightly out there.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
No, I mean, he's asking for it to just stay there.
It's kind of just like a nice shed, I mean, just a little bigger, more easy to set down.
I mean, like Jerry Johansson put one in over on his property.
Oh, he did,
Well, yeah, and
and maybe, I mean,
Tony Schultz has one on his property.
Do any of the neighbors have to sign off on that?
He has no-
No, it doesn't.
he doesn't have.
Go for that on mine. Yeah, that is. Those are swamp probably aren't.
Do you want it temporary, so he has to come back, or we just doing this for permanent?
I mean, where we've had others that have requested it, the same thing, I guess I just don't know.
No, you see, Jerry Johansson has one
Mhm.
on his property. I think that's kind of a precedence.
Well, there's no
Move to approve.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I do have Kelly
Second.
and Mike,
Oh,
so
third.
you're just in the discussion period, and Mary will call it out when she.
So are we ready to vote then? Have we got our questions answered? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Okay. So, moving on then is item number 13. Can you fill us in on this? On sale, off sale malt beverage and South Dakota wine for Hanson Inn.
Right, she just has had some requests of people if they can drink in their room. And so she's just gonna be able to sell to them and they can go to their room and drink.
Just because I'm curious and I don't, could they have a glass of wine in the lobby?
As long as it's.
Yeah,
on
I
their
mean, the
property.
whole.
The whole area?
Right, but I
Okay.
I don't know that they're gonna allow that, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
because She just wanted it available to some of the people that, she was asked about a reunion that she's got coming up, if they had that option, and so she actually is getting that now, and she's gonna have to renew it again in June, because this is for 2023. And we'll
Oh,
have to renew for 2024, malt beverages renewed that way. So,
And she's aware of that.
Yeah.
So that won't be an issue come June. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the on sale, off sale malt beverage and South Dakota wine for Hanson's Inn?
So moved.
And it's moved.
Second.
And Jerry seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the chamber report. Katie,
Hello, so your community center report for March and April should have been in your packets. It's kind of slowing down a little bit in there, it seems like. Wasn't quite so much to put on there this time. Did anybody have any questions on that? No? Okay. Chamber stuff. We had our Bring on Spring party, was that 23rd? I don't think, was that last weekend before, something like that. I can't remember. And I think it went really well. We had lots of really good feedback, some positive comments. So I think we will probably, it sounds like we will probably try to do it again. If there's, you know, it seems like there was enough interest to do it again. So that was great. And then, so we're thinking that the community cleanup day, we would like to do, wow, Garrett, for May 4th. And we're wanting to see if we could have the rubble site open if the guys would be willing to pick up tires like they have in years past.
I think that's really a good idea
I have a lot, I know last year a lot of people
for
called that.
mosquitoes and.
Yeah. You think that'll?
Katie, when do we start? When does that kick off? Is it 7 a.m.?
So,
Yes, I think it is. Isn't it 7 to 10? Is it 7 to 10 or 7 to 9?
I think it's 7 to 9.
7 to 9? Okay. And then as well, they're still willing to do breakfast? Or pancakes?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Will they have some proof of being on the cleanup team?
We'll do wristbands. Yeah, I think that's what we did
Not that
last.
we've really had a problem.
People breaking out the doors,
Yeah.
flying about it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was there.
So, do we need to wait for Garrett to, get that, to see if somebody will be able to have that open? I wasn't sure with,
I think he'll make that happen.
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
There is gonna be practice high school rodeo in town that day, so. But they should be at the arena and they'll have cleaned that up
Okay.
before that event, so that part will be
Down there.
taken care of, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Katie, what was the alternate date?
We don't have one. Actually,
the 40.
well, yeah, because, so what was it? The following week is, there is something,
Oh, the fly-in,
the fly-in is the following week, the week after that's graduation.
yeah.
So we didn't even do a follow,
Oh.
but, maybe that's something that, does anybody have any, ideas
Boy,
on that?
that makes it a bit complicated.
It does.
The 1st of June on Friday, that's a bit late.
And we talked about doing it the week before, but it could still be snowing by then, so.
But usually, our first date goes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if something happens for that date, we can maybe. I don't know if during the week, pushing it to Sunday is probably not a good, anything that
No.
would work.
May 4th is gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, well,
You're confident?
I agree.
Okay, and if for
Risk
some reason
guarantees
it
it's
doesn't,
gonna
we will figure it out when it happens.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Sounds good anyways. Okay, so, let's see, so the next thing is 605 day is our, we just started that last year, it's June 5th, and it's, event that the state's recognizing, Wyoming is also doing it, I think theirs is it 307, I think it's, so, and then South Dakota has now started it, and they're really encouraging any town that will participate to recognize this event. So we did it last year, and we kind of learned some things as far as what worked and what didn't work, and one thing that did not work is we had our dancer who was absolutely awesome, she was, she did some hoop dances, I think we had 3 or 4 times throughout the day. 4? Okay, and so we started over here, in front of the, down from the post office, and then she went over to, I think over to Wake and Bacon, and then she was at, I'm missing a spot. Was it 4 or was it 3? I don't know, anyways.
She went back to Main Street, didn't she, after?
Yeah, she was in front of post office then. Anyway, she was all over the place. And so what she let us know is it was not the best conditions for her because one, it was also super hot that day. It was like 100 degrees that day out of nowhere. So, and she's got a lot of clothes on. So it was very hot. There was no shade. She would like shade in some cement instead of gravel and a flat space instead of some, sloping and stuff. So, and then also where she was moving around, we couldn't really advertise that very well. So I don't think that we got as many people there. And so, this year, what we would like to do is see if we can have her just right out here on the street and just block the street from the stop sign just to the opening of the parking lot. And we were hoping that since it's still really early in the year, June 5th, and it falls on a Wednesday, I believe. So we're hoping that it wouldn't cause any big issues with having the street blocked, but we did need to see if we could get an okay for that.
Okay, so you'd like, this is 5th Street,
5th Street.
from Main until just the beginning of the parking lot. Would I have a motion to that effect, please?
Katie, how long?
From, what did you say, 10 to 4, 9 to 4. 10 to 4. Should we do 9 to 4? So that we were gonna have her start dancing at 10, or her first one at 10, so we probably need it blocked so we can set a tent up beforehand.
Cause there'll be other things going on besides just the dancer,
We were
correct?
hoping, so we were hoping to see, maybe have like there was a man that he had an ice cream truck, maybe see if we could get something like that parked over there possibly. We were starting with this just to see, because then our plan could very possibly change. And then, we did the bingo cards last year, and we were hoping to do that again, and then we would set our table up out there to where we were giving away our shirts and things like that. Vendors did not work so good, so I don't know that we will have vendors, but we thought about asking, a few local people if they would like to set up like, I can't even think of anybody off the top of my head, maybe Bonnie, if she would like to set up, because a lot of times she'll come to take pictures anyways, if she wanted to set up for like, her calendars and photos and things like that, just, a few things like that is what. we come
You
up
know, I'm all for it. I think it's a great location, but I think, boy, we should see what the traffic's like because of the Fourth Avenue project. I mean,
with.
it could be interesting. I mean, we might get closer and go, well, maybe we should make some adjustment. Just a thought.
It's probably a very, good
Yeah.
consideration because, if they are, but yeah, they're wanting to be done by Memorial Day. If it was all done, that'd be great, but if it's not,
So question,
because of rain,
so if it's not done,
Well-
we had this all planned out.
You know, 'cause I was just, walking over there, they even got the bank sidewalk closed. Past the bank, but,
Right.
right,
So if it's not finished and that's not open, could we possibly, instead of doing it here, just move it down to the portion of the street that's pretty much closed already anyways, on Main Street?
good idea.
That was all our alternate plan there, so, but one of those two. If one of those two places would work, then we could probably move forward and continue to plan, because we'll know it will be one of those two locations and.
there you go.
That
Very
work
good,
okay?
good idea.
Awesome, thank you very much. That makes things, it's gonna be a lot easier, because last year we were running all over town. Okay,
The only thing is, that doesn't have shade for it.
we're gonna, both sides, we're gonna do a tent.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because over here, I mean, it kind of depends on what time of day, so,
Exactly.
yeah, so we're gonna still
Okay.
set a tent, up, so,
Good.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, and just, June 22nd, I've already been having people call me on the citywide rummage sale, so that's the date for that, in case anybody asks. It's the same weekend as the Scavenger's Journey. So we're doing that at the same time this year. And then I'm gonna jump back. Our annual meeting is Wednesday, April 17th, here. Social hours at 5:30 and the meeting will be at 6. And this year we do have a couple people speaking. It's gonna be, I think, Eric Beach from the Badlands National Park, unless he's called away for something, then they'll send somebody in his place. And then Teresa Hofer from the Badlands Observatory, and then Christian, and I cannot think of his last name right now, from the South Dakota Youth Hunting Adventures. So those three are guests we're gonna make it really short. It's not gonna be a long drawn out talk, but about 10 minutes each or so. So they're just gonna give a little talk on their subject. And so that should give us some good information. So that's April 17th at 5:30. And then, so we will not have a chamber luncheon in April because of that. And then we will have one in May on May 14th. So it'll be here. So not in April, yes, in May.
Okay,
And then our next chamber board meeting is May 10th at 7 a.m. And then I will be gone from April 30th to May 3rd for the MACE conference in Sioux Falls.
okay,
And that's all.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that brings us to, item 15, economic development. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. I'm sure you'll know that Kendall Nelson has put in her resignation and has taken on a new job opportunity. We wish her very good luck going forward and into the future. So what we've done is we've started advertising for the position. Carolyn had put an ad in the paper and it came out in the Prophet this week.
No, in the current this week, sorry.
Oh, in the Current this week. Okay. And the listing has been put on the Elevate. They have a job listing with Elevate, so it's been put on there. I've sent it to Dakota Resources. And I haven't had time to look to see what it takes to do job service and how much that involves. But I was gonna look into that. We also have all the information, the job description, the application. We have a page on our website. It's turned out to be a very nice page that in the advertisements, it has links or it's given the website link to that page so anybody can go and download all that information off there. And kind of an advertising, it's real eye-catching. So it's kind of a neat page that they had done. Yeah, Lily and Callie had helped us out a lot with some of those processes and making up the ad for me. Lily did, and Callie has kind of stepped up and helped us with getting things advertised with Elevate and things like that. So they've been a great help. We're going to move forward with the mailbox project coming up for the graduation. Those of you that aren't aware of what that is, we purchase a mailbox for each one of the seniors. We put their names on the mailbox in hopes that they will come back to Wall and live and be able to use their mailbox once they get their schooling done or whatever they have going forward. And we'll open it up to all businesses to be able to put something in there for personal invitation or personal letters to them. I know that's been done in the past, and little gifts for the seniors that we can give to them for graduation. So that's kind of a neat thing. And I actually have heard of at least a couple of ones that we've given out in the past that they actually have come back and put that very same mailbox up when they've come back to town. So that's kind of a neat thing to see those come back, I guess. The industrial park, Dan Henderson was doing those commercial condos, and he's got a project in the works with an individual. And so he had asked for an extension. The end of his purchase agreement was the end of March. And so we signed another extension for him to go to the end of May. So hopefully we'll see something come with that. I had been working with a gentleman by the name of Eric Wolf. He's actually an employee from Black Hills Energy, and he had worked to get a grant, and it is a grant that will help all communities, starting with Wall, all the way along the interstate up towards Belfouche. And what it is they go to each committee. I've got to get them some information, what we submit for RFIs, which are for businesses that are looking for some place to go. And I got to get them, and I'll probably submit the community guide because they want a marketing, how Wall markets their town. And they're going to take all this information and come and do a site visit. We're gonna take a tour of the city. They're gonna see everything, and they're going to tell us the proper way or to improve our advertising for the RFIs for our town in general and in the industrial park. They have a lot of experience in giving us ideas on how to properly market for the industrial park. So I think it'll be a really big help. It's not gonna cost us anything. And they will be in town on May 7th. And we've encouraged all of the board members to join us in that tour around town. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Good job. Thank you, Don. Okay, that brings us to a follow-up on the concern form that we had in front of us last meeting.
So I spoke with this individual and we kind of got a plan figured out. I just I relayed the message to Garrett that I got in contact with him and just need to work out some of the details. He had stated that one of the issues on the form was in regards to the contractor he had that was doing some of the work on the residence, which he has reached back out to have that finished up. But all of the other issues, I think we got taken care of, so.
Okay, very good. All right. Thank you, Mike. Okay, then we have a concern form that's been submitted about the sidewalks along Glen Street. In your packet also was included a walkability study that was done in 2021 that also recognized this as being a concern that needed to be addressed. It also had come to the attention of Kelly and myself through an email about a year ago now. So there is, this has been a consistent concern. And this summer, Garrett and I were called to that area because the mailbox that's in that particular same area, it was, we were made aware that it had been knocked over 3 times and that the mail had been scattered. So
I know before we had the, chip and seal done, there was, a white line that would go down, like it started at, I don't think it started at the corner of South Boulevard and Glen, but there was a white line, so it showed, because that from the center line over, almost looks like there's 2 lanes. That it could be 2 lanes, I should say. But before we chipped and sealed a year or 2 years ago, there was like, it's almost like a parking line there, down to about where Peters is. Or other shops, I guess.
well, the legitimate concern is that right now, with the bushes in that area, it sends pedestrians to the street.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to walk. There's a great sidewalk on one side of it, a great sidewalk on the other side, but that particular area has grown up with bushes. And Garrett had brought to my attention that that's a liability concern if we're sending pedestrians into the street to walk around it, as opposed to be able to stay on a walking path or a sidewalk. So we need the thoughts of,
So then would they have to move their mailbox too? I don't know.
No,
They-
I don't think the mailbox is an issue. I mean, there's
No.
mailboxes on Husted Street.
the mailbox. The issue with the mailbox is that the mailman will not deliver mail to that mailbox if there's a car parked there,
So I think the
but
issue,
it's not the mailbox, it's not
Yeah.
the problem.
and then I think the issue with the mailbox getting hit is people waiting to turn in to get gas. You know, if they have like a camper or something, and then another car passes them. Yeah, I mean, they do that in front of my house. So when we discussed with the property owner that at first they thought we wanted them to put a sidewalk in, and then they're like, no, if we just put a nice base course walkway there, it would work, you know, and I even offered the Public Works to do the work and provide everything, and they didn't want to do it because it would look, they think it looks bad if you trim it and one side of the bush is brown.
I was just gonna suggest, could you make a nice path right through the middle of it, so they were
And greenery on either side.
greenery on either side.
Well, the problem is, I think there's a post right in the middle of that.
They
Where there used to be a sign.
they used to have a sign location there.
But there is enough room to make it the same width as the sidewalks on both sides of it. And not affect you might be referring to an electrical situation that's kind of hidden by some of the shrubbery, which I understand.
I mean, it's probably not a whole lot different than people that have trees that hang down and cause traffic issues and stuff, and we make them trim their trees.
And that sits on their own property,
Well, they have to trim, they still can't hang over the street.
cause it's a tough corner up on Creighton Road.
Oh, well, that's never been,
That's inside their yard. If it's
Yeah, I
above
know.
the sidewalk or in, it's over the street.
But if you look at this page that Carolyn included in your packet, you can clearly see what the issue is and why this is a legitimate concern
Well, and it's been
brought to us.
it's been a concern for a long time. I think, maybe if we had a committee that could meet with Lex and just talk about possibilities. I talked to him about it and he thought, if he tore everything out, and put a sidewalk in, it'd be 20 grand. Plus aesthetically, you don't really wanna do it. Is what he told me.
My concern is if somebody steps out into that roadway and something happens. And the issue's been made aware to us how many different times.
Yeah, I just pulled up a picture of Google Earth. And there's a car parking right in front of that bush, so now if somebody wants to walk around that, they have to walk around. They have to walk around. the
Is
car
there,
into the-
is
Right
there
now,
a
at
curb
this very
under the
minute-
bush?
No, this is just a picture.
Oh, okay.
On Google. What's that, right?
Is there a curb under the bush?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what is in the middle, if those bushes were to be taken out, did somebody say there's an electrical box?
There's a cement, I'm pretty sure it's like a cement caisson or whatever that a sign used to sit on.
close to the building.
Not in the middle of where the walkway would be?
No,
I think you can see it right there. I remember when I was in school, there was just a couple small bushes there and you could walk by, there was rock in there.
They grow, so. I wouldn't mind going and talking to him.
Well, I think it's something we gotta address,
Mhm.
Since we've been made aware of it.
We've been aware of it a long time. I mean, we've talked about it.
and this documentation on this deal makes it really serious. For us liability wise.
I mean, if you met with the committee and said, yeah, maybe you could do something, would we cost share? I mean,
Yeah, and they can't cause.
well, if the public
Just gonna
works
put-
is offering to do the work, that's pretty much cost share.
Yeah,
But I think we should probably do something other than just base course, cause I
I-
think we're gonna have a problem with mud and it washing out and cause it kind of flows that direction anyway, yeah, so.
We'll have a whole bunch of concrete going in on Fourth Avenue here in a little bit.
diverted truck.
And just remember, you'll be setting a precedence.
Exactly.
That's right.
As far as,
Well,
Fixing
someone
every
else has a
sidewalk in
sidewalk
town.
that's kind of broken up and it needs to be done, well, you fixed it for him, why can't you come and help us with ours?
And we got a lot of those.
But I think part of the issue is this never, there's no sidewalk underneath it. So we're not replacing something that was broken. We're putting something in that wasn't there, correct?
Well, and some people do have sidewalks that have been removed and they might say, well, we'd like a sidewalk now. too. Come and do ours.
And then we learned on that.
Yeah.
Because didn't we approve one sidewalk? Oh, yeah, take it out, and then later on, we thought, oh, boy, that was not a good precedence that we set. Carolyn, did we even come up with something so we wouldn't do that again, other than just an agreement with the council?
I was just talked about that it shouldn't be something we would do again.
Stern.
We do make mistakes.
Well, it's hard to see into the future always, you know, what
Yeah,
the consequences might look like.
it's nice shrubbery, I hate to say.
Stan, any ideas?
No.
Good answer.
Well, it was,
Well, the only idea I would have is we need to be very careful. There's blocks and blocks and blocks in town that have shrubs, that have trees, really get big. And it costs city millions of dollars. Well, it should cost a lot of money if the city had to put sidewalks in place. But I'm not getting in the middle of this.
So just have the committee meet with them and get some ideas.
You know, maybe see what are you willing to do. It looks like, the bush extends over the curb, so you can't even see the curb.
It doesn't now. I just looked at it. I think
They
they
trimmed
kind of trimmed it, yeah.
after
That was
we,
his
after
fix.
we met with,
Is the curb yellow?
Uh-uh.
Could it be yellow?
yeah, but
Cause I mean,
they're still gonna walk out in the street to go around the bush to get,
but they don't have to walk around the car.
right?
We do. Seriously,
Again,
Garrett
it's
and
a
I,
liability if something would
when we,
happen. And you've had discussion about it, because this is gonna be in the minutes.
when Garrett and I had the discussion with the landowner and the resident next door, we clearly told them we would paint the curb yellow. We would even put in the white markings on the street to keep anyone from parking in front of the mailbox. But they needed to get a walkway through there. And that was last summer, when we were called by them to come there because of the mailbox concern. So I'm just saying to you, we've kind of had a conversation. Now, you are welcome. If there's someone that wants to go visit with them again, absolutely. Conversation is always good. But we have got a concern.
I think
There's gotta be
maybe,
a-
at least maybe meeting with them and telling them that
Something's
something's gonna happen, and, you know, that way it kind of gives him the opportunity to come up with some suggestions, knowing that we gotta move forward with it, it's gotta be resolved. And, you know, Garrett being there and whoever else, what committee would that be?
Well, the street committee is actually Rick and Stan and I. Is that who should meet with them? I don't think. Go ahead, Stan.
Stan are on the committee, but I'm not going to be on it, but, Kelly has volunteered, I see, and I would think it's in her ward.
Yeah, I don't mind, no.
And I'm happy to, but I agree with what Stan said. You know, we should proceed with caution. And, you know, it's not the only safety issue in town.
Well, it is the one street that we hear about how people come in at 40 miles an hour. We've been asked to put speed bumps, is that what they were called there? We have put crosswalks in there to try to slow down. We have moved our lights.
We have 2 speed signs.
We have 2 speed signs.
I don't, I'm just gonna say, how you cannot slow down with those things blinking at you, holy cow. I come in every day and it scares it, it doesn't blink with me anymore, but.
You know, you're setting yourself up.
I know.
They only blink when you're speeding.
But it's huge.
Did we paint some white stripes?
There's a crosswalk that puts on there to go across to the.
Did you get it?
BJ's.
BJ's,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yep, there's a crosswalk at that intersection, there's a crosswalk at 7th, and then there's a crosswalk at 6th, then there's a crosswalk at 5th.
The only thing with them crosswalks, and I think they're great, but they don't do any good unless we got blinking lights there. Maybe not see them, but people don't see those crosswalks unless people are walking across the street.
People don't see the 4-foot flashing stop sign either.
mm,
Okay, so the committee is gonna be Kelly and Rick. And we'll have that conversation, and you'll bring back a report at the next meeting, is that?
How many can we have on our committee?
You can have 3.
Mike, would you meet?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you would be helpful.
Mhm.
When we,
We'll try to line something up, and work it in with your schedule.
The next meeting is April 18th, so sometime between now and April 18th.
perfect.
Okay,
so we
Kelly, will you coordinate a time?
can do that.
okay. To be continued, I guess, is that where we're at? Okay, thank you. In front of us also is the solid waste and a transfer station contract, the committee for this, which was Rick and Stan. Reviewed this and made some tweaks, then this was sent out to you at the last meeting for everyone's review and comments. Did you get any comments back or anything from anyone, Carolyn, that thought there was any issues? So this is basically the same contract that was before, it's just got tweaks in different places. So with that being said, this contract, in order to meet the advertisement deadlines or timeline, am I saying that correctly, Carolyn? Because it does have to be approved by July, or go into effect on July 1st of this year. So back up the train, and in order to get it advertised and then get bids in and bids selected, we're at the point tonight that we need to approve this contract.
Did we ever hear anything back from our current in regards to the transfer station, Caroline?
No.
Really?
I will, I myself know to reach out to them tomorrow.
I just had a question, make sure that it's clear. It's a 5-year deal, but it can be renewed for an additional 5, isn't that correct? Is that how that reads?
Yes, we do, because one is contract agreement for solid waste, and the second one is a lease agreement for the city of Wall Transfer Station, and the two have to go together. If the company that gets us solid waste, the way this is written, they do need to lease the transfer station.
But it can be extended for an additional 5 years.
I'm sorry?
It can be extended for an additional 5 years, right?
Yes,
By mutual.
Yeah, I'm sure the verbiage is still in there for that.
The contract that we have in front of us, you're asking about, right? You're looking for that?
It has it on the transfer.
Want to make sure that it's 5 years plus they can renew it for 5 if everybody agrees.
Right.
On page 1 of the lease agreement for the wall transfer on part 4. Is exactly what you're saying, I think. Stan, do you see it? Page 1 of the lease agreement, City of Wall Transfer Station. The I
Solid
think-
waste, it also says that under terms of contract. Both of them.
But I think he was trying to make absolutely sure this is written in here, and I was just trying to point it out.
Yeah,
So-
you found it in the transfer and I.
So
found it in the
it's
solid
in
waste.
both. Good.
And what Carolyn, if you didn't hear that, Stan, on the contract agreement for solid waste on page 2, bottom of page 2, term of contract. It says exactly the same terminology. Bottom of 2, top of 3.
Yes, I see that it's there. I know that it's there. I just wanted to make sure everybody else seen it was there.
Okay. Good, yeah, very good point. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm just not hearing him very well. That speaker's not coming this way. Okay, so with that being said, is there any more discussion, or would I have a motion to approve the solid waste contract agreement?
Would make that motion.
Okay, Jerry has moved.
Second.
Mike has seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So the contract agreement for solid waste has been approved. Would I have a motion to approve the lease agreement of the wall transfer?
So moved.
Rick has moved
Second.
and Mike has seconded. Any other questions or discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Carolyn, that plus sign on that thing doesn't turn the volume up.
I did turn it. And it was sounding, when it was beeping while I was turning it, it sounded loud.
So you're having trouble here too, right? Yeah, I definitely am. Okay, next item is the attorney contract. This was sent out in the packet. This definitely removes the paragraph that she requested, indicating that she would not be invoicing on a monthly basis. With that, do I have an motion to approve the agreement for city attorney?
So moved.
Rick has moved.
Second.
And Kelly has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? Who put that up there on that screen? What's,
Well, I
What
was
is that?
trying to make sure that the speaker.
That big brother.
That,
I think it's Stan checking out or something, I'm not sure.
sorry, I got to doing that and then you started taking motions, so.
Okay, so it has been moved, it has been seconded. I hear no other concerns. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. That brings us to Tesla. Okay, Tesla, I think most of you may have been on the council when this was originally made in 2019. This is an agreement to continue, and did any of you that made this agreement with Tesla before, have you had any disappointments, any concerns, any thoughts, or has it met all your expectations?
You haven't had to do anything with them or any complaints or anything
No,
like that?
no, please, nothing, I just stop every once in a while and hang the chargers back in there, but
What's the deal with that? Do people just drive away? do you think?
I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much everything's,
If anything is broke, if you have to reach out to them.
they're there. I see them there a lot.
Oh, they could come in and
Fix it?
fix things and,
Yeah, I didn't think they, I
Check
don't
it
know how
out.
often they check it, but I see them there quite a bit.
Good.
So they keep a close eye on it, I suppose they have to.
Maybe
And
it tells them.
it's a nice big one, doesn't it have like 8 locations? That's a pretty big station.
Okay. There's no concerns, no criticisms, no,
I've never heard any complaints.
okay? So are we ready to, move to approve this Tesla agreement renewal?
So moved.
Dan has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Mike has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, that's Tesla, all right. We are at item number 21, industrial park hay ground agreement. Bid,
So we received two. This one is from Tracy Trask. His bid is for $17,752. And the second one is from Marty Williams, and his bid was for $10,205. Like the bid will be.
okay. Do we have to approve that or anything? We can just accept it?
Approve awarding the bid to Tracy for the amount that it was.
Okay, so the amount was $17,752, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, do I have a motion to approve Tracy Trask, the hay ground bid for the industrial park?
So moved.
Okay, Kelly has moved.
Second.
And Rick seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to vision and dental insurance. And Katie and Garrett brought this to us last time. She has provided us with maybe Garrett, it was you.
Yeah, not this time.
Okay, so if you'd like to come to the podium, please, Katie, and talk us through this because they were asked to bring back what the cost might mean for the city.
Okay, yep, so, I just went in and wrote everything down, just to make it as simple as we could. We all sat down and agreed to a vision plan and a dental plan that we would all like to switch to and had more, providers in Rapid and some better coverage. And so the top one would be the vision, coverage, and that would be with Avisis. And there's a lot more providers in Rapid, and so on the left-hand column, the EO, ES, EC, EF, that is breakdown by employee. So EO is employee only, ES is employee plus spouse, EC is employee plus children, and EF is employee family. And so the base plan cost, this one, it's your base plan cost is that amount. And then they recommend a lens package, so that's your frames, and if you've got these funky bifocally thick Waldo glasses over here, like over Garrett.
Just wait.
Actually, it's traumatic because I didn't pick up vision insurance when I started, because I don't need it. Yeah, I'm squinting, so. that's probably gonna be a good thing to start, so if we.
Fingers are gonna be thicker than mine.
Probably, but anyways, so,
What goes around comes around.
it does, I better stop.
Yes,
Loading
be
here.
careful, be
But,
gentle.
You can get thin lenses, even though they have to be thick.
That's right, that's right. So, so that just shows the total plan cost for each, employee, and then the monthly premium, and then I did break it down into, you know, the city pays the 90, the employee pays the 10, so I did break down that cost. And then if you go down below, it shows the Visas monthly sum and the yearly total, the Colonial is who we currently have. So I put that down below, and then the difference between the monthly cost and the yearly. The two highlighted items are what I figured you guys probably cared about most.
I don't see where the lens package fits in.
So the lens package, so if you don't have that lens package, there's not gonna be the coverage for, explain that, Garrett, because I
So
don't know.
it provides, so for like an extra $9 or whatever, it provides. It pays for bifocals, it pays for the scratch, it pays for the polycarbonate lenses. You know, and it just, and there was
What's
different
what's
levels.
the city portion of that? I just, cause I don't know.
90% of $9.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I did add in, so I totaled up for the total plan cost, that includes both of those.
And the lens package is in there.
Yes, yeah, so that total plan cost, that's the total, that has, you don't have to worry about, you know, the base and the lens is in there. And so, basically, those highlighted numbers is what I figured you guys probably cared the most about, which is the yearly total and the difference of what we're currently paying. And actually, that number, just so you do know, it didn't just, I don't currently have the vision insurance, but I did for that number, just so I pretended like I did, just so that it wouldn't be a big difference and it wouldn't look weird, but, so that's the difference in those two. So that's the vision, and then the Delta Dental underneath. I set that up the same way, just showing, you know, it's broke down the same way, a single employee plus spouse, employee plus children, family. And this one's a little bit easier because it's just a flat amount for the plan. And then, it shows the city cost and the employee cost, shows what we pay now. And then the two highlighted numbers is the yearly total and then the difference of what we're paying now versus what it was before.
Is this difference per person?
No, no,
That's total.
yeah, that's for all of us. Yeah, yeah, no way.
That's just Katie's dental.
Why don't?
Yeah, no, that would be the total cost for the city for everybody.
Delta Dental's really good.
Mhm.
Cause this corner is worthless.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's
Yeah.
who we have.
And that's, I was talking to Ashton a little bit because they have the Delta through Tyler, and so that's what he was saying that, or that's what she was saying was that Delta Dental, I think you offer the same plan, that premium plan, and it's really, really.
It's
good.
really popular and it just, you know, because employees, if they're just doing all the dental out of pocket, you know, they would tend not to, but if it's a huge health thing, that if you're getting good dental care, so I think it's a great investment in our employees.
Okay, so I think what I hear you saying is you, as employees, are recommending that we switch vision insurance and dental. You have clearly laid out that it would cost the city $688 a year more for vision.
Yep.
To switch plans, and you've clearly laid out that it would cost $1,819 to switch Delta Dental, and Rick has just given a great update, our endorsement of Delta Dental. And so the total of those two, if we agreed to do both, would be $2,508.60. Would that be true?
You know, that's one calculation I didn't do, was I didn't add those two together.
I didn't use a calculator, I just used my pen, so it could be.
Well, I'm glad you pointed that out, Mary. What was that total?
$2,508.60,
So that's
I
all,
think.
the more
The
we'd be
two.
paying.
That's
Wow.
all for 1 year that we would
All
pay.
reports included.
I thought you were gonna check her arithmetic. there.
No, yeah, some people. do.
Stan
Right.
knows my math does sometimes even get my decimal in the wrong place, which only means a difference of a few $100,000. But no big deal. I tell Meyer that all the time, no big deal. Okay, $2,508. Would I,
I'd make that motion.
okay, Jerry has moved
I'll second.
and Kelly has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
very welcome. It's big deal for families, absolutely. Okay. So, that brings us now then to the finance officer report. Please.
So last week, I believe it was, I attended the district meeting in Hill City. And, Sarah Rankin, who is the interim, director for the municipal league currently, gave us an update. She did a really good job. I asked her to share, the cheat sheet she used, but they're still doing district meetings this month, or this week, so she's out of the office, so I didn't get that, but as soon as I get it, I will share it with you. There was a lot to try to remember or jot down, and I just couldn't do that. But it was really good. Lori Woodward from Custer, who is our current district president, she got back in. Teresa Hall, the mayor from New Endwood, who is did not rerun. So she stepped away from the vice president position, and Misty from Hot Springs took that position. So there was a little bit of change there. And then just gonna do an election update that next Tuesday, 7 to 7, will be the day to come and vote. Sorry. Excuse me. Have been getting some absentee voting requests, so been dealing with those as well.
Carolyn, could you quickly tell me the process for the absentee ballot and how we do that? I was asked, and
So
I-
if the person comes into my office, I give them the form that they fill out, which says they're requesting to vote absentee. They show me their ID just like they would on election day. And as soon as that paperwork's filled out, I give them their ballot. Depends on if they're Ward 2. And of course, everybody gets the school because everybody's in the school district. Otherwise, if they aren't in Ward 2, they get just the school ballot. It gets put in a sealed envelope and put in the drop box. And then on election day, it will get opened up and dropped into the correct boxes. But they're folded. It will not be, because you do have to write your name on the absentee ballot envelope.
okay, and what if it's mailed in?
And if people want it mailed to them, they have to email me. Well, they first call me usually, and I email them the form, and then they email the form completed back along with a copy of their driver's license for me. And then it has to be mailed to them. I can't scan it because it's not the original ballot, of course. So it gets mailed to them along with the return address to send it back to me.
They can't take it on Wednesday.
What's that?
I remember when I was in there, the person asked about Wednesday
After the
today,
election?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or if they could get one for Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
you might as well come in and vote.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday's the election.
So, yeah, I don't know, I would say, of course, I would say I'm getting more school board because everybody that votes for in Ward 2 is getting the school ballot as well. But then there is just a few that are asking for just the school district ballot, so.
Do you get a lot of absentee?
I would say I probably have 8 or 9 of Ward 2 and probably maybe 15 of the school district. So, and then next week, Wednesday, I'll be staying overnight, but Mary and I are attending the airport conference that is being held in Deadwood. And that
Yeah.
is.
Is it just Wednesday or is it 2 days?
It starts Wednesday morning and then finishes up for Thursday.
Okay.
At like,
Just wondering how long I'm gonna be rolling here.
yeah. So that's all I have going on. Continuing to work on software and
I'm good.
otherwise. that's all.
Manage to keep plenty busy every day, for darn sure. Okay, thank you, Carolyn.
And Carolyn, on the election, who's the team again that,
I have Jerry Johannesson, Stacy Billmeyer, no, not Stacy. Do I mean Stacy?
Yeah,
Janet?
I think that's. it.
Yeah, you say.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Billmeyer,
good.
Stacy Billmeyer. I'm getting my Stacy's mixed up. Juanita and Cheryl Lester. I'm forgetting one.
Pat Paulson's doing it. Yeah, I don't know.
so after the election's done, those 6 people,
But
5 count the ballots and,
they do. So there will be separate ballot boxes. So I have mine for the city and Amy will be bringing hers for the school so that the ballots will go separately, so they won't have to get
so,
recorded.
so if you're Ward 2, you get a Ward 2 ballot and a school ballot.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Ward 2 ballots are blue and the school district ballots are white. You have to have 2 different colors and we're just separating them as they're voted. So that less sorting at the end. Try to make the night go a little quicker.
Okay. Any other questions of Carolyn then? All right,
I don't know if this is Carolyn, I'm sorry, or Garrett. The lead thing for the pipes are. When do you have to have that completely done? Or how are we doing on that? I should ask.
You have to have it done tomorrow.
Really?
We finished,
Yours are all done, Rick.
Good.
we finished the time frame of
Yeah.
allowing the residents to do it, so. I'm not sure when the public works are gonna be able to get started, because they're gonna have to physically go and read the rest.
Is there a lot?
Yeah, it didn't turn out as well. I
Yeah.
didn't think people took advantage of it as well as I thought they would.
Yeah.
Because there was financial incentive to do it early.
So you want us to look at them? I forgot all about it.
What's that?
Do you want me to look at my pipes? I forgot all
Oh,
about it.
yeah, you have to.
Somebody has to.
Carolyn, for the election board, the other person was Doris Eisenbrow.
Oh, there you are. Thank you. I knew it was somebody from the country, but I just could not come up with it.
okay,
There you go. Now have
Thank
it.
you.
all right. So Public Works, Garrett, have you been doing anything lately?
No. I don't even want to talk about it. No, it's, they're moving right along with the underground stuff and, I know it's been pain for a lot of people and the water the other night was a horrible deal, but they just ran into issues that we thought it was plastic pipe and it ended up being ductile iron and so they had to go get different fittings then, so that's why it took so long and I mean, they truly, I mean, it's not like they were messing around all day, they were working, and so that was the worst of it, the water being off, that was the whole entire area, so now we can isolate it and still, what's left, feed people. So, and then, yeah, they had put a manhole in today, they fixed 2 intersections with the water. When I went over there, to turn valves on, they were cleaning it up and tomorrow they're gonna have Todd haul off a bunch of the muck and mud so we can get more mud and muck this weekend. But no, I think they're doing good. I mean, for considering the weather and they're good guys to work with.
Is the board done under the railroad?
Not yet, no. because they can't do the boring when the train's on the track and the train's been sitting on the track for
Yes.
like an hour every day. So kind of slowing them down a little bit, and the board machine broke down, so.
Only makes sense that I can walk the tracks to come to work, you know, rather than drive around.
Yeah.
Not when the train's sitting there.
Which I might have to bring my car mover up and come around this way to get on the track tomorrow.
Yeah, you can get in through, that's fine.
So they're aware of it, and like that guy that stays there all day long looking at train tracks is aware of it.
Oh, is he with the railroad?
He actually is subcontracted, he just stands there and watches make sure the railroad tracks are there, I guess.
Yeah, so. So yeah, I'm glad, I'm glad they're being aggressive as they are, and it's not. They're doing it right. And so soon, all the underground stuff will be done, and then they can just go right on through with the road. So, and if anybody, and I don't know, yeah, there's been a big lack of communications, but we're trying to iron that out and figure out a good system to do it.
The improvement on that has been huge.
Because before there really wasn't any, you know, it was just. And so now we use that code red. And it has its own little list of people that we can let people know what's going on. If you put this is for the 4th Avenue projects, because some people, it's kind of confusing. I sent one out and didn't put update for 4th Avenue, but.
In their defense, when I got it, because I'm on the list, I thought it was Spring Wonderwood and my water was getting shut off.
So, but I think that's improving. And we just there's a little lack of communication between the contractor and the engineer. So it's just I don't know.
Was a huge project. Things usually get worse before they get better, when we're in the worst part, but when this is done, it's gonna be amazing. And they are pushing hard, as you've indicated. And thank God for the moisture, but that doesn't make their life very easy right now. So when I stood there and watched them the other night, and that water, they were pumping water out, but water was running in as fast as they were getting in it, and the pipes were apart, and I appreciate that those guys that are down there in those situations and trying to make that work. So we have to ask for patience, and we're working on communication, and it's all gonna be good soon, just like green grass is gonna be here soon.
Something that kind of impressed me when they were over in the area and had both those, what do you call them?
All the excavators.
Excavators. They had 2 of them going at the same time. Those arms are like missing each other. And I thought that guy that was in there, I thought, oh man, I bet he makes a pretty penny, you know, because you gotta be kind of knowledgeable to know how to do that. He got out, he went and did something else. Somebody else went and jumped in there. So they cross-trained. They're not just depending on that one guy knowing how to run that equipment. So I thought that was kind of.
Yeah, they had one excavator with a bucket on it. He'd throw the dirt in there, and the other guy would pack it down with the packer on the other excavator. And really, they're good guys.
They're good, they know what they're doing, and they've got the equipment here that they need, so.
And the PD, the guy that is on, he's really, he's aggressive. He wants to get done, and he's not, which
Awesome.
is good. Instead of,
Definitely.
tearing up the street. And it was bad. They had like a safety meeting the week after they tore the street up. So, but that was just their office changed it on them, and it's all coincidental.
Okay,
But I think they will probably reach the deadline, like they said, by Memorial Day. So,
awesome. And thank you for the extra hours you're putting in and all the calls. You're kind of glue here, so thank you.
I had to get another belt because a little bit of chewing on one. Just bit in there.
Okay, so anything else besides the 4th Avenue?
No, I don't think so. Just
Okay,
clean up all the snow and then it's snow again. So. If you guys have any questions?
Got the
And like I said-
mowers ready?
What's that?
Got the mowers ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had Trevor out there mowing the boulevard a couple weeks ago.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, thank you. As far as, airport update on my part, the airport steering committee will be meeting again April 12th, Friday at 10 o'clock. We have new people coming to the table. This is getting to be very exciting as we're connecting the dots. The airport reopening, fly-in is gonna be May 11th. Katie, you're kind of in charge, or you're leading that. Would you like to add any information about the fly-in that you know about?
Well, I think we'll probably know a little bit more after, our meeting on the 12th, but so far, we, both Economic Development and the Chamber have very nicely, donated $500 each for breakfast. So that's gonna help pay for food, and then the, fire department and the ambulance have offered to serve, and then we'll just have a, bucket out for free will donation, and that money can, go to them. They can split that up between them if they would like, and then, I think I need to talk to Preston a little bit, but I know we discussed maybe like a flower drop or something like that when those guys come in, which apparently is a target on the ground, and they fly over the top, and whoever gets their 5-pound bag of flour closest wins this. So we need to discuss it a little bit more, but we're gonna be serving breakfast from 7 to 10, I believe is what we decided on, right? And it's also gonna be open to the community, not just people that are just flying in, so everybody is sure welcome to come out. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything.
Well, and the posters have gone out to all the,
Yeah, they've been sent out to the, Carolyn has a contact with, the airport, airports, I don't know, is that what we call it, Carolyn? And they've got a listserv that goes out all over the place, so yeah, we have that sent out, and we'll be getting those up here locally here soon, too,
Right.
probably after our meeting here on Friday, just to finalize exactly what we're doing.
What was that date?
May 11th, yeah.
so great time for locals to come out and see the airport too, because
Yeah.
we have people that have never been out there, I'm learning, so
Yeah, come out, have breakfast, check it out.
Yeah. come and see, so. Okay,
I
the-
hear Garrett's gonna help serve breakfast, and I think maybe Lily too. So at least, always come out and give them a hard time too, because it's no fun giving Garrett a hard time.
I only like cooking pancakes.
Preston said he'd give me an airplane ride, and he asked me if I like to fly upside down.
Just shake all the money out of you.
It won't be that day, I'll be in town.
Okay, so, the other part that I was gonna update is on Pettit County Housing / Prairie Village. We have moved to the part where they are very eager to use some local contractors. And those locals that they might, look for is for someone that would do lawn care, painting, cleaning. Those are called light duty, and then heavy duty for fire system, mechanical maintenance, or general, maintenance. I asked for a job description, they gave us a scope of service. So a lawn contractor would mow and trim the lawn weekly and during the growing season. And a custodial service would be, someone that would, do custodial service, and they attached a contract to refer to that. And then maintenance, plumbing, and electrical work would be on an on-call basis. So if there's anyone interested in doing that locally, because right now what they do is they hire people from Rapid City, contractors, who come down like once a week. So if they're here on Tuesday and your faucet leaks on Wednesday, you've got a leaky faucet for a week. So we're trying to make it a little bit better for our residents. They also had said that facility is for sale. So I said, and then as I was sharing that with a resident, they asked me, well, what do they want for it? So I asked them, and they said, well, nothing in specifics has been decided about the price yet, because it has to be, first of all, appraised. Then they have to get, submit a application to HUD for the dispossession, and then they would have to also approve the price. What that tells me is we are ways off for getting that thing sold. So therefore, I am eager to continue to work to try to make the facility, the situation better as it is. And getting locals involved, I think, is a big step in that direction. So if anyone is interested in any of those local contracts, so that we can get attention to that facility sooner, just give me a call and I will get you connected, or whatever it takes to get you involved.
Mary, can we put that on like the chamber or city Facebook, or can we put in the paper or something?
Absolutely. Thank you for thinking of that. Because that is a way, another way to promote that, because we have people here that do this stuff and they just as well, get involved locally.
I do have a question for you. I think that when this was discussed the last time, there was a question about insurance that the person would have to carry. Did they go over?
Yes,
That
and
is-
I've got a document here that shows what kind of insurance liability or whatever,
Okay.
and what the amounts are.
Would you make sure, if we're gonna put it on the Facebook page, would you give me a copy of that?
Oh,
Just in case
absolutely.
Somebody calls me, I don't just want
Yep.
something stupid when they call.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
We can make that available, so just trying to make things better for our residents here. All right, that's all I have for the moment. Does anyone have any items for discussion?
Yes. I was out in the Sheer Edition and there were some people out walking and visited. They have some culverts that are smushed flat, and was wondering if there's anything we can do with that.
Where are they?
How'd they get mashed?
Drove over,
Oh,
yeah.
Wasn't me.
There, yeah, well, one is in front of Fredstead's,
Oh,
that one,
yeah.
and well, there was actually, we kind of walked around and there was quite a few that either are flat or they must be plugged or something, and they just wondered if there was something that could be done about that.
If it's on their driveway, if I remember right, that's their responsibility.
This one, the one that I saw was on the road. It was,
At Farmsteads?
yeah, it went from the front of their lawn over to that way. So that wouldn't have been on
Well, yeah,
there.
we can fix it, but. Well, maybe the semi trucks will quit going through there now, but that's what happens, is the semi trucks take that. corner.
semis crush it.
Yeah, we fixed them, I don't know how many times.
Really?
We put a brand new one out on Concho. Put posts there, went out there the next day and they're run over and it was crushed again, so.
that's why I was asking how they got mashed. That needed to come out. Thank you, Karen.
Bigger posts. With
Bigger.
concrete pillars. I
Concrete,
think.
yeah. And there was another, it's the electrical and phone, the big green things. Right across from the storage unit. They're
By the mailboxes?
just down from the mailboxes, yeah. There's
East or west?
this way, east. Oh, God, no. No, it's east of that. They've got a huge hole there and it's filled with like 3 foot of water, and they just wondered if there's some way put rocks in there or something just to, I don't know if rocks would do it, but
On Stone, where, no?
not on Stone Drive, on Larry.
Oh, on Larian?
Yeah,
Oh,
right across from
yeah,
the storage units.
I got you. I was thinking of storage units.
Oh,
Vet.
sure. yeah. And they were just kind of concerned because it's deep and it's filled with water and there's little kids around there and they don't want them falling in and.
The other concern was that it's by electrical box and everything, and there's electricity there, and there's standing water there. That was another one that they brought up.
Yeah, I can go look at it and see.
Would you mind?
I just, you know,
And of course, they brought up that they need gravel out there.
you know, I don't understand why people think they need 2 inches of gravel, you know, on their road, because you just when it's a hard, nice packed surface, that's the best road, I think. In my opinion, we just bladed it today, so. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
could tell it was plain.
So,
So the resident I talked with, they were asking if there was an agreement, from her understanding, there was an agreement with the city, once all the lots were sold out in the sheer edition, then asphalt would be laid. Is that anything that was said once all those lots were sold?
Boy, I never heard that.
I wanna say that was, I remember some sort of discussion on that, but that wasn't there an association type
There
deal
used to
that
be,
wasn't?
yep.
Yeah.
And as lots got sold, there was $2,000 put in an escrow account, which still has money in there, but some of that money has also been used towards maintenance, putting the gravel down and all that. Well, I don't know how long ago that was, but $2,000 is not gonna get you very far. And especially when some of those lots weren't then divided out, they were big lots and still only $2,000 went into this account. When possibly if it was divided into smaller lots, you might have had $10,000 and you can't control, you know, who would have known that back then, you know, too, so.
yeah, and it's not like when the lots resold, right?
Right,
It's just when it was sold at one time.
yeah, so as they sell again, then it,
I thought when they first did that years ago, they wanted to leave it gravel and leave it country and leave
that
it.
was, yeah, discussion in minutes as well. They wanted the prairie setting, I think is how they called it.
And I think we came across an ordinance in planning and zoning that said that that road was not built to certain specs in the first place, and so the city made the indication it wasn't going to asphalt that. So, but we can relook at that certainly, and
Because was it the developer that put the road in? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
so, yeah, all righty. Okay,
I'm sorry, because they bring that up a lot, that about asphalt. Do you have that documentation?
Well,
That would be nice to have.
I don't have that briefcase with me, but I.
No, but and then,
You know it too.
Yeah, well,
Rick,
yeah,
right?
you never-
You too, Dan.
no, and they wanted to build it that way. And the city said, okay, but never made a commitment to put asphalt out there in any way, shape or form. Cause it's, you know, it's a lot of asphalt
Yeah.
and they were trying to, they wanted that prairie look.
yeah,
And now with everything developed, to try to go in there and build a road, I mean. It'd be millions of dollars,
I was wondering, I thought it'd be millions.
yeah, easily.
Easily.
Well, yeah, that stretch of asphalt on Airport Road from 4th Avenue to the end of the airport was like, what was it? Like $80,000 or $90,000, you know?
And that was on an elevated road that was, all they had to do was asphalt it out there. You have to, there's no ditches, there's no, well, you'd have to bring in dirt to elevate the road, then you've got to change everybody's driveways. It would be. Yeah. It would be a huge cost.
That little spot in front of my house was like $3,500.
For that one? Wow.
you know, it would be a lot like, when Stone Drive was developed and they wanted septics out there, and then they decided that wasn't what they wanted, and they went on the city's sewer. To get that done, each property owner was assessed to get that done. I could see that happening out there, but I don't know how willing those property owners would want to be assessed to pay for that kind of a
Improvement.
And really, that road is only bad in one spot, that's where they come off and they go down through that bottom and they all gun it, and that's where the washboard is, and I mean, other than that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that road, because we just drove it this morning.
No, I saw you guys out there.
Okay, all right, anything else?
That was it.
Okay, very good. All right, next city council meeting is April 18th at 6:30. As far as I know, there's no need for executive session. So with that, is there any action items? No, absolutely not. Is there any other? Item number 31? If not, seeing none, meeting is adjourned.